I've always remembered both of you as being very tough players. You just talked early on about the red cards you both got, etc. Have you ever been intimidated by another player on the pitch? Because I looked at someone like Dan Burn, who plays left back, right? And he would have gone up against you if he was overlapping. He's 6'6". I would be intimidated by that.
No.
Bradley's just
No.
Not like that. You know, certain ones who maybe have something different. It wouldn't just be then size. You go back and you sort of say, historically, there'd be players who really had a different edge, or you'd fear them because they're so good. Not necessarily because of the size.
So, like Aki Fenwa, who's a tiny...
yeah, for instance, if you played against or a player who was really strong, you'd feel like, well, if I get into a wrestle with him, he's going to win. Yeah. He's going to have overpower me. So how do I then have something different? Do I not let him touch me? So there's obviously always that. What do you see in someone of fear?
If there was someone that was, bad challenges, you'd always think, well, if he's going to go high, I'm going to go higher. I'll look after myself. I'll protect myself in that situation. I mean, Big Dunk, I suppose Big Dunk, my first game, Big Dunk, was always a bit wary of Big Dunk because he was an animal.
The elbow had just come and just see it. But you can't do it now. Yeah. Literally, every angle, but where before, literally, it was one of those where you're watching yourself all the time. There'd be slight elbows, you'd have a couple of stitches in the top of your eye, or whatever it would be. The game was tougher. But that's what it was.
Was that an intimidation for you, Big Dunk?
I was 17, I didn't get on, I suppose, but not once I started playing, no.
Okay.
I think as a group, vocally as well, you could be intimidated. So you play in a particular team, if you know 2 or 3 who've got
Leeds,
a bit of
we
character,
were horrible.
So you say, right, let's get on these today. So when they're in the tunnel or when the game's starting, it would be ruthless. You'd say, you go and look after him and let him hear it. And that
on purpose,
on
that
purpose,
you want them to hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the fullbacks
Mind games.
I kind of play with me said, first time you touch it, I'm going to smash you into row, right through the stands. Second you take your touch, get ready for it, I'm coming straight at you.
Just
that was
get in their head.
That was normal. You'd go, let's have a go, come on, bring it on. Now it's unheard of, but it was really ruthless getting in. But there's when you set off, when I set off in midfield, it like Barry Horn, really tough midfield player. Vinnie Jones would have been in there, and you're sort of saying, well, how do you test yourself in that? Keane was in there. Are you unpredictable? What would they do?
That was the difference when we played. There was a huge unpredictability, and players could snap and get away with it. That was the difference. You can't do that now. I mean, now you see a little push in the face and players are rolling over. I mean, it didn't happen in our day. You'd be embarrassed.
But as well, as I remember playing with Lee Cattermole at Wigan, and it was Scott Parker and Mark Noble playing for West Ham.
Yeah.
And they had a bit of Cockney, and it was getting a bit one of those. Lee Cattermole had got caught late, and then he's looked at me. I've gone, are we going? He's went, come on, let's up that level. So it's getting heated. There's one each way. And then literally, Cattermole didn't know what the stop button was. He turned round. Next one, he's gone ridiculously hard, But it's like you say, that you had a certain group of players or a team where you would become nasty, horrible, ruthless. And you're saying at Leeds, they were a strong team.
We were shocking at Ellen Road. Ellen Road was one of the most intimidating places to come, and especially in Europe, we would just kick teams off the park, and it was easy to do. It was me, Radaby,
Bowyer.
Then you have Harty. Harty was nasty. Would always leave his foot in. Bowyer, Batty, Decor, Alan Smith.
Yeah.
Tough.
Well, yeah.
So it's even starting from the front, where actually you don't often get.
Yeah.
You've got someone at the front niggling straight away, setting that tone. You can go and back that up, send him one way, then they'd come inside, the next one goes.
And you would, like Brandon said, you'd have your teammate and you'd line people up sometimes.
Well, you'd know, wouldn't you? You'd say, go on, go tight, send him inside. Yeah. And the second he knows he's going to press, he'll come from the right and I can come from inside.
Scholesy used to do that brilliantly for his teammates, for Keane and for Butt and people like that. Scholesy would go flying into a tackle, get nowhere near the ball, nowhere near the player, but the player would jump, or the player would step it, and the ball would just run away a little bit. And then 2 seconds later, Keane and Butt would come, bang,
smash,
and just because that person is out of control of the ball's got away from a little bit, and it was setting it up. And it was a partnership, and used to work like that.
So the nicest guy in the team was Nigel Martin.
It was horrible. We were horrible.
But he was okay.
Do you know, like fear? So you say fear opponents. So you'd say, well, you're going to try and affect it. Who would affect you? Who would not? But someone like Scholes, you had to try and go and get. and you couldn't as a midfield player because he just seemed to know.
Yeah. See you coming.
Amazing.
Intelligence.
See you coming, and also be able to move the ball at huge pace with the touch being perfect, just away slightly each time, and that's when you know he's top of the tree, and so
why he's so highly spoken.
Yeah, so you'd fear that someone he'd destroy you if you did.
I'd always fear being made a mug of rather than being intimidated.
Yeah, if you're a
physically.
particular wide player and you're coming up and you're thinking, uh-oh,
how many times
he's
how
going
many
to
times
run you down the line.
me?
So a particular good one, I think good players rather than you never feared them physically of that.
It was the fear of someone making you look horrific rather than physically intimidating you.
You mentioned Frank Lampard, but when I've played against him and he'd look at and I say, all right, Frank, we're going to have fun today. He says, not you. He'd just look at me and go, I can't be doing with you
but
today.
But you get this crazy look in your eyes, even
every
when you're doing it
time.
now.
And I just think, brilliant. I'm so glad he said that, because now I'm going to do it anyway, but now I really want to do it because he hates it. I'm just going to keep going tight with him. And it shows you can affect them slightly. They're looking over the shoulder, and it does.
And fine margins at that level of the game.
Yeah, but they're brilliant players. So, if you're not as good a player, which I wasn't, I had to try and affect it in a different way.